When you signed on to this project, where did you start?
Script. It's where you always have to start. What is the story? And for me, I don't think we felt like we were there yet. So the biggest first responsibility I felt was to get enough time, push back the release date, and get the script right. Because I think too often these days, movies are made for a date instead of to tell a story. And we figured out what that story was, and then we set about making it.
How did you want to send Harrison Ford off with this movie?
Well, first of all, with something of quality that represents the kind of integrity his legacy of work represents.
In this movie, of course, compared to when the first film came out, there are way more special effects available, but fans love this franchise for the practical effects, for the actual car explosions. How did you want to balance both of those, special effects and practical effects?
At the height of the pandemic, so it is a real challenge making a globe-trotting mega picture when the entire world is in lockdown. But those aesthetics still apply. We traveled, at one point we were going to India, then we had to shift it to Morocco because the pandemic was, in terms of what was impossible or closed, boundaries suddenly closed. But we stayed flexible and we kept working, and we did travel the world, and we did go to real places, and that for me is part of the character of these films.
There are so many fans of the franchise here today, so excited to see the movie. What are you most excited for these fans to see in the film?
Well, I think the moment that the Disney logo vanishes and you're plunged into action in this movie and you hear the bombs falling and John Williams' music, his trumpets and brass playing, I think you're just transported into a world not only of Indiana Jones that we miss, but for me, a kind of more classical style of filmmaking that, one of the reasons I was so eager to join with this team, despite all the reasons you might go, whoa, do you want to really step into this mix, is that, Steven Spielberg represents to me, he's one of my idols. When I was 17, I came to the Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark on the very first day, on the first matinee, and Steven was one of the people that made me want to be a movie director. So the chance to collaborate with him, and also to the kind of shared aesthetic, which is that I think, Steven and George have always been in love with Golden Age films and mining them and the classic Hollywood style for what is an incredible portfolio of work that has literally changed the course of cinema and business. And I love old school classic filmmaking, so I think it was a very pleasurable, easy fit.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you.